Good evening. My name is Gene Doherty. I'm going to share my research with you. My research for this class was done on Al Smith and the 1928 presidential campaign for president. This is going to be a significant election for one specific reason. It's going to be the first time that we're going to see many southern states vote against the Democratic Party and for the Republican candidate. There's going to be a few reasons for that. What my research attempted to prove was that one of the major issues, or the major issue of the South turning against the Democratic Party, is going to be Al Smith's faith. Al Smith became the first Catholic presidential nominee for a major political party. This did not sit well with many Southern Democratic voters. Southern clergy and political leaders made every attempt to have Smith removed from the ticket. Smith persevered and did his part for the Democratic Party, but many Southern voters gave their votes to Herbert Hoover in the 28 election. For the first time since the Civil War, the Republican Party was able to win a number of solid South states. Since the Civil War, the United States experienced many changes, but through it all, Southern loyalty to the Democratic Party would continue. Some of the key factors that Smith is going to face, or that the South is going to face in moving from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, the widespread anti-Catholic sentiment in the South is going to be one of the main issues. As the first Catholic nominee for a major party, he faced intense religious prejudice, particularly in the Deep South. Many Southern voters were influenced by religious leaders and anti-Catholic or nativist organizations. Smith also had to deal with his urban Irish immigrant New York identity. He was a politician from New York's Tammany Hall. He was a part of the political machine in the Northeast. That also did not sit well with a lot of Southern voters. His strong ties to immigrants and to working class of New York City were viewed with suspicion by many Southerners who saw him as out of touch with their way of life and with their values. And one of those values that's going to play a major part in the election is going to be prohibition. Prohibition is a very significant issue during the 28 election. Al Smith was a wet, meaning he was not in favor of prohibition. Although as governor of New York, he enforced the rules that were set out by the 18th Amendment and the Volstead Act. But he's going to insist that there are some fundamental changes that need to be made to the 18th Amendment and to prohibition itself. So although the 28 election was a unique case driven largely by anti-Catholic sentiment and prohibition, it's going to signal the beginning cracks in the Democratic dominance of the South. Southern Democratic strongholds will vote for Republican for the first time since Reconstruction. Over the following decades, the region would gradually shift toward the Republican Party. It's just not going to happen right away. Shortly after the 28 election, the country will go through the Great Depression. The next election, the election of 32, will see Franklin Roosevelt, and then, as we all know, Franklin Roosevelt will hold on to the presidency for 4 terms. But after that, after Truman's election, we're going to see this shift really start to take place in the South. And a lot of that is going to start from a lot of Southern voters feeling alienated by Smith and by the 1928 campaign. Thank you.